that when all of these units come online, there will be lots of properties that will go unrented, and you'll see further foreclosures. And I just don't, my concern is that there was not more care put into the process. People are complaining about the process, but one of the most important aspects is establishing the need for so many units. And I can understand the part about forcing the rents down, okay, but once again, and there may very well be a market because many people are struggling to pay the market rents plus utilities, especially people who have been turned out of the housing developments. However, and so there may be a market there, and that was my question originally. Who is the market targeted at? I mean, who's the target market? And then, of course, to distinguish those individuals from the Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program, where it is, of course, income limited, but not everybody is comfortable with the market rents and paying utilities.
Right, and we do take that question seriously. We are in the process of working on a market study to make sure that we really do understand this market. But one real fact is that, as Russell mentioned before, we lost 82,000 units of housing, the majority of those in the city of rental housing, the majority of those in the city of New Orleans. And we are putting back only about a third of those units through our program. So again, we are very sensitive to those issues, and it's something that's been very much debated by our board, by our legislature. We are aware, and we do take that very seriously, that we don't want to tip the balance of this housing market by putting back these units. But again, we're only, because of the resources that we have, we're only able to put back.
Well, I guess you can't really know, too. I mean, there's a shortage of housing, but then people move away and they get placed in Houston. It's really hard to know exactly what really is happening when something like this happens, because it's a historical occurrence.
Absolutely.
So we're just kind of guessing.
And I'm speaking from experience. I might mention that I am a broker, and so I have been dealing with these matters since Katrina, since the aftermath of Katrina, and it's an ongoing issue.
Well, thank you so much for your call.
Thank you for having me.
All right, bye.
Y'all have a good day.
All right. Hello, Doris?
Yes, I'm on.
Yeah, you made it. I know we're getting right near the end here. I'm glad we got to you.
Oh, yes, indeed. I've been waiting for, I have all my information in, and every time I send something else in, it's another issue. So, and the lady that works with me seems like she can't get, I don't know. But I know I retired, and I had that rental property for when I retired. And it's, I can't get nothing started. So I'm just I don't know what to do. I
got the folks right here, and if you just hang on the line, okay, we're going to get Don to put you over to someone that can help get you really on the road home to getting those dollars you've been waiting for. They've been just as frustrated, I think, as anybody at not being able to kind of make this happen at the rate that everyone would like to see it happen. So just stay on the line, and we do have some folks, from the Office of Community Development here, and they're going to help you, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. James.
Good afternoon. How you doing today?
How are you? I'm doing great.
All right. I've been with the road home for a few years, okay, and I'm helping my auntie. She's 86 years old, and all the paperwork is done. I was getting ready to go to the closing, but we had major title problems, okay? Had to go to succession, found out that they had 5 kids with the owner of the property, and as of right now, we cannot get the commitment letter signs with the 4 kids. So is there anything can be done with that? Because that is the holdup right now.
Well, I mean, I think that does become a problem, like that the lawyers got to deal with it at that level. I don't think that the you got to clear your title, because you can't lend on a defective title. Period.
Correct. I kind of thought that, but as a matter of fact, that's the only holdup right now. And cannot get those commitment letter signed. So
call that attorney up. He's probably sitting on it.
Call who?
Call your attorney up.
Great.
Yeah, just stay on. He can do it.
Working that good, but thanks a lot. Much appreciated.
Okay, thank you so much for calling.
All right, thank you.
And last and not least, because we're kind of coming to the end here, I wanted to ask you about as we've been talking to different people in the community, I know that a lot of the homeless people are mentally ill. I know that we've lost Charity Hospital, and we have a spectacular new medical complex planned some years in the future. And there are places like Woman's Space on Pitt Street in New Orleans, developments for people that maybe cannot fit in the traditional definition of renting a house or owning a house, but that do want to, have that dream of home ownership or having their own place. Are you able to help those people?
Yes, as we talked about before, the permanent supportive housing program that we have developed with our partners across the state, as well as with the continuum of care agencies like Unity of Greater New Orleans. There are partners in really developing a permanent supportive housing, both developing units, making sure that we can secure additional units. And permanent supportive housing basically is affordable rents with wraparound services, so that a person who has those challenges can live independently with the right services in place.
But we only have one Woman's Space. I mean, we need more, don't we? Don't we need more money going into that sector?
The plan that we had for our homeless programs following Katrina has money in capital development as well as in rental assistance. And so we've been working, again, with the local community, with our state partners at the Department of Social Services to bring that to bear. We are also making sure, though, that we develop those units that are in place and make sure that we've secured the resources for those wraparound services. We also, with the help of our partners like Unity of Greater New Orleans, we were able to, and Senator Landrieu, able to secure 3,000 vouchers for this program so that we can make sure that we can get people into these units.
Okay, great. And is that road home money, or is that another type of money?
The vouchers are actually a separate pool of funding that came from the federal government that Congress allocated, I believe in 2008, 2009. The program money for the homeless programs is actually part of our larger CDBG allocation.
Great, okay. Well, we're kind of running over a little bit, but we've known to do that every now and then. I want to, first of all, thank all of you all in the studio with me and outside the studio for coming down here and really doing what you can to solve these callers' problems, to explain to the public what's going on, at least from your point of view, and to try to get the word out there that we are making progress on some of these early difficulties that a lot of programs had, particularly Road Home is just kind of known for that, and that y'all have. You seem to be pretty upfront about trying to recognize what was and make the corrections and get the job done. And I commend you for that. I really do. I'm really impressed. I was really hoping I could maybe pick on you guys a little bit more. But, you really, like I said, I really get the feeling you guys are really trying to do absolutely your best. And I thank you for that. Our community has been drastically affected by the housing shortage. And my concern is always, particularly for those elements of the community that are so under radar, they're not even getting their Social Security. They're not getting their medicine. They're living under the bridges, and it sounds like you're even trying to reach them to an extent. I think that's really terrific.
Absolutely. For that, thank you for having us. For that, we have put together a number of rental assistance programs, and we're ready to launch another temporary rental assistance. We know that temporary rental assistance is not the solution. We need a permanent solution for these individuals and these families, but we also know that we have to have a bridge for people, and so we've been really committed to making sure that rental assistance is available. Well,
great. And again, thank you very, very much for coming. Carmen, do you have any comments you'd like to add?
No, just diligence and patience, I guess, is what it takes, right?
Okay, well, Robin Keegan, Brad Swayze, thank you so much for joining us. This is Attorney Russell Stegeman. We are going to leave you now until next Wednesday at 2 o'clock. I'm going to have to wave bye-bye. And we'll be back next Wednesday at 2 o'clock with another installment of The Legal Show. Always bringing you interesting things going on in the community, issues about justice and what's right for your fellow man, what's right for you. Call us anytime here at WBOK, where we're always about real talk for real times. Good afternoon, New Orleans.